Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a book haul. I love doing book hauls. I love watching book hauls, so I'm excited to be doing one today. And I've been collecting these books over several months probably, and just been waiting to do them all in one video. One of them was a gift sent to me for my birthday. Most of these I bought with birthday money that I got, and then others were free. Some from Book Outlet, some from Amazon used books, so all over the place, but I'm excited to share what I got. I'm wearing my fox sweater. In case you haven't noticed at all in the amount of time that you've been here on my channel, I love foxes. They're my favorite. And this was a sweater sent to me from my friends in Poland for my birthday like a couple years ago. But it's the softest thing and it's my favorite sweater. However, I am sad that it's March 16th, so almost the middle of March, and it's cold enough to wear beanies and sweaters again. Yesterday it was like upper 60s, I think it was, in the afternoons, and it just felt so lovely, and I was like, oh my goodness, the sunshine, the warm weather, I'm here for it. I am ready for spring. I am loving this weather. And then I overheard a conversation from somebody that said it's supposed to snow today, and I was so sad, and I was like, you should know this, Carmen. If it's 60 degrees one day in Colorado, at least where we live, and it's still winter, early spring, it's probably going to snow the next day. And it happened today. It's been snowing almost all day. It's not right now, and it's not sticking. Like, it's warm enough that it's not sticking to the ground really. There are a few places that it is, but I was just sad that it was cold again and snowy. But anyway, I'm all cozy with my sweater, got my coffee, and we're just gonna do this book haul now. All right. Well, I do have to share a sad story. Some of these books came from the thrift store. I had been collecting or setting aside books over a long period of time that I wanted to buy, and these are books that I don't see come through the thrift store very often, and so I knew that I couldn't let them go through, and I was like, I need to bring these home with me. Anyway, I had set them all in a basket and put them on my table where I work, and then so since I only work 3 days out of the week, there's usually my second, like my assistant in the book department, she was working the other days that I was not working, and I forgot to put a note on this basket of books that I wanted, and she like processed them and put them through. It's on me. I should have put a note on it, but I was so sad because these were books, like I said, that I don't see come through very often, and so I specifically set them aside because there are a lot of books that come through that I want, but I see them often enough or know that they'll come through again, and I just send them on through because I don't want to buy them right now because I know I won't read them right away. But yeah, these were books that I just wanted to have in my collection and save them for myself, and they got sent through, and I was so sad. I was heartbroken. I told my husband, why am I so heartbroken over these books? But I truly was, but I was able to find 3 of them in my, like, on the shelves in the store that I work at, and I sent a list of, I tried to remember different titles and authors, and sent them to my husband because I think they were sent to the store that he manages, and because we have three thrift stores that we run here, and yeah, but he hasn't found any of them yet, and you know, it's okay. I will try to be okay with it. But I was glad I could find at least 3 of them. But anyway, we're just gonna get started. The first one is from, so I said recently that I want to start on a video I don't even remember which one. I'll try to put a link up here to it. But I said that I wanted to start reading more poetry and just start collecting some poetry books. And a couple weekends ago, the book club that I'm a part of, we went up to Colorado Springs, and the Tattered Cover bookstore, there's a location in Denver, but they just opened up a location in Colorado Springs, which is a little closer to where I live. And anyway, our book club went up there just to spend the day browsing the books, drinking coffee, because they have a coffee shop like in the bookstore, like the prime location for all book lovers. And then they have a little section upstairs where you can sit, like they have little nooks and couches and chairs, all of the things, just so you can go sit up there and read your book, drink your coffee. Anyway, the book club got together there to discuss the most recent read, and I purchased some books. I had to, because I found some that I really wanted. But anyway, this video that I was talking about, I asked for poetry recommendations, and someone commented and gave me their recommendations, and I found them at the bookstore, and I was very excited. And the author is Billy Collins, so I got 2 of them. They're very thin, narrow collections of Billy Collins' poems, and these were the exact collections that this guy recommended. And yeah, it's The Trouble with Poetry collections, and the other one is Sailing Alone Around the Room collection. I was flipping through the poems there at the store, and I was like, oh my goodness, yes, I think I will really enjoy this author and his poetry. So I'm really excited to dive into these. Anyway, I was looking at the other poetry books that they have, and they had several copies of different collections of poems from Everyman's Library editions. And so like they're these mini books, hardcover, and just like gorgeous, gorgeous titles. But they were a little expensive at the bookstore, and so I looked it up on Amazon, on used Amazon books, and they were actually cheaper, so I went there. I know I should support, you know, smaller companies instead of the big ones, but, you know, trying to save a little bit of money here. But anyway, the one that I really wanted that I found on Amazon then was the No Place Like Home collection. Come on, focus on here. There we go. Isn't it gorgeous? Wow. It's so pretty. There are other collections of poems that I want from the Everyman's Library Pocket Poets is what the series is called. And yeah, it's just a nice collection of poetry. And I think Billy Collins actually has some poems, like there are some Billy Collins poems in this book as well. And yeah, I'm just excited to read some of these poems all about the home. Anyway, I'm trying to expand my horizons and my reading experience, and I want to dive into poetry, and yeah, I think I'm going to really enjoy these that I have. There was another book there at the Tattered Cover bookstore. I think it's a new release of a collection of poems by Billy Collins as well. Some other friends and I are going this weekend on Saturday again up to the bookstore, and so I'm hoping they still have a copy, and I think I might buy it then as well. But anyway, the other book that I picked up there, I don't know anything about it except I saw the title and I had to pick it up, and like I didn't even read the back, like the synopsis. I was just like, I want that book on my shelf and I hope it's good because I spent the money for it. But Fox and I obviously, I mean, hello, like the title just jumped at me, and so I hope it was meant to be. But yeah, the subtitle is An Uncommon Friendship, and it's by Catherine Raven, and it's a memoir, I believe. Yes, it's a memoir, and Catherine Raven is a biologist. I'll just read the back because that explains it better. When a wild fox started showing up daily at biologist Catherine Raven's remote cottage in Montana, she began to read to him. Soon they were going on walks and playing games. Raven had led a solitary life, but the fox taught her about friendship. This extraordinary and utterly captivating memoir reminds us that connection to the natural world comes in many forms, and that nature itself will ensure none of us is ever truly alone. Anyway, I just thought that was such a fascinating concept, and it's a true story, and it's just her experience of living in a remote cottage in the woods, and this fox starts visiting, and she starts to read to him. What? I love that. I love that so much. So I'm excited to read this, and I hope I enjoy the book. I hope it's as good as it like sounds to me. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to the ones that I got from the thrift store. So the first two that I got were actually free or recycled because I couldn't sell them. And the first one is In Search of a Prince by Tony Shiloh. So I've been seeing so many people in the booktube world talking about this book, and I've been wanting to read it. And then this copy came through, and like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's severely water damaged. Yeah. So it's severely water damaged, and we don't sell books that are so badly damaged. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this copy home and read it, and if I like it, I will buy a nicer copy, because it just doesn't even lay flat. Do you see that? It doesn't even lay flat. So, yeah. I just rescued it, brought it home, I'm going to read it, and if I enjoy it, then I will probably buy a nicer copy, as I said, but... Okay, so then the next one is actually an advanced uncopy edited edition, so an ARC, and we don't sell those because you're not supposed to sell them, I think. I don't know. I was never told the rules, but I'm assuming that, like, usually these books say not for resale or anything like that, and we can't recycle them either, like send them to thrift books, and so they usually just get thrown away, which is sad. But yeah, this one is Jane and the Year Without Summer by Stephanie Barron, and so it's a mystery, and Jane Austen is the main character, and so she's the one who has to try to solve the mystery. So I have no idea if it's going to be any good. I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but I saw it come through, and I was just intrigued with this idea of Jane Austen playing the detective and solving a mystery. So yeah, I have no idea if it'll be any good, but I brought it home just because, yeah, it was free, and so I'm going to read it and see if I like it. But I did have a question though. I have never read any advanced reading copies, ARCs, or anything like that. And I've never bought any, because I've always had this question. So for those of you who read the ARCs, is there any difference in the advanced reading copy and the final printed edition? Because to me, in my mind, every time I would see an advanced reading copy come through the store, I'm always like, do I want to take this one home, or do I want to buy the final printed edition? Because, like, that's the final one. Is there ever any major differences of the ARCs versus the final printed edition? Let me know. Because if it's just more grammatical things, like, that have to be fixed, like, I'm assuming it's not, like, major plot changes at all. It's not, I don't think. But I just always wondered, like, is there actually any difference in the advanced reading copies versus the final printed book? So let me know, because then if there is no difference, I will probably start buying more advanced reading copies, because they are usually cheaper. But also, I just didn't want to spend the money on the book if there is, like, a major difference to the final edition, when I would rather just have the final edition. Does that make sense? Let me know, because I've always been curious about that. Okay, so the next two are Christian nonfiction books that I picked up, and the first one is No God But One by Nabil Qureshi, and it's a former Muslim investigates the evidence for Islam and Christianity, Allah or Jesus. So I read Nabil Qureshi's book, Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus, and it's just his story of being raised as a devout Muslim and how he found Jesus and Christianity and converted to Christianity, and just his personal journey of, so yeah, Seeking Allah and Finding Jesus is his personal memoir journey of coming to Jesus, coming to a faith in Jesus, and just wrestling through all of the evidence and apologetics for Christianity and Islam. I'm assuming this one just goes more into depth in that journey. And yeah, Nabil actually passed away. I think it's been several years now. due to cancer. He was really young, and it was heartbreaking to hear of his passing, because yeah, I loved his story so much, and I just thought he was such an important voice in the Christian apologetics world, especially when it comes to like witnessing to Muslims and all of that. But yeah, this one is just going to, I'm assuming is just going to go dive deeper into like his investigations of like comparing the facts about both religions. I'll just read the first little bit here on the back. In Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus, Nabil Qureshi recounted his dramatic journey, describing his departure from Islam and his decision to follow Christ. In the decade that followed, he realized that the world's two largest religions are far more different than they initially appeared. In this anticipated follow-up book, Nabil reveals what he discovered, providing a thorough and careful comparison of the evidence for Islam and Christianity, evidence that wrenched his heart and transformed his life. So, yes, I'm excited to dive more into that one. The next one is, so The Next Generation Will Know, Preparing Young Christians for a Challenging World, and this one is by Sean McDowell and J. Warner Wallace, two of some of my favorite Christian apologetics to follow. If you've been here on my channel for a while, you know that I have a huge interest in Christian apologetics and pretty much read anything I can get my hands on, especially when it's by authors that I know and love and trust, and Sean McDowell and J. Warner Wallace are two of them that I really love the work that they do. And I don't think I even heard of this one before, but this one came through and I decided to pick it up, mostly because I feel like this next generation after me you know, technically I'm considered Gen Z because I missed it by 2 months. I was born in 97, and I think the millennial year, like, I don't remember the exact dates, but I think the ending year for millennials is 96, and I was born in February of 97. So technically I'm Gen Z, but I was raised as a millennial, or I like relate more to the millennials than I do the Gen Z kids, but I guess if I claim the Gen Z role, then I could be considered younger. I don't know. But yeah, I like this generation, Gen Z, and the following generations are definitely growing up in a post-Christian world, more than what we would have grown up, or what I would have grown up in, even though I'm technically Gen Z. But like, especially what the millennials or our parents would have grown up in. It's a different world that they're growing up in, and like I have a heart for them to know the truth, and I know that Gen Z is hungry for something different, and yeah, I wanted to read this one and just to get tips and just knowing how to talk to this next generation and share the truths of Christianity with them. But anyway, excited to read that one. Okay, this one was one that I was so happy to have found because I was so sad when this basket of books that I collected had disappeared, because I really wanted this copy, and I found it, so I was very excited. But it is an illustrated copy of A Christmas Carol. And it's from the Candlewick Press. It's from Candlewick Press. And it's just, hold on. I just wanted to add it to my collection of Christmas books. And it is the same printing company that made this, The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry edition that I found last year. And so just another beautiful book with beautiful illustrations, and yeah, I'm just excited to add this to my growing collection of Christmas reads. Wow, we're coming down to the home stretch. Okay, the next one you would have seen in the vlog that I just posted, but it is the Blackout Book Club by Amy Lynn Green. This one was sent to me by my best friend from back home, and I'm very grateful because I really enjoyed this book, and I just had a lot of fun with it. But I decided, even though you guys have seen it already in another video, I would include it in this book haul. So there's that one, and the last one is from Book Outlet, and it is Amanda Dykes' Yours is the Night. I've not read any Amanda Dykes yet, but I'm excited to read it. I think this one was on sale, and so I grabbed it off of Book Outlet. I actually had another book from Book Outlet. I'll put the cover here. It's being Mary Bennett. I can't remember the author's name. But I already passed the book on to a friend because I didn't want to keep it because I probably won't read it again. I'll talk more about it when I do a wrap-up at the end of the month. I enjoyed the book, but there were just some things about it that I did not like, and so I don't want to keep it on my shelves. And it's not really one that I would totally recommend to everyone. Like, I would be very picky about who I would recommend it to, so I passed it on to a friend. It's a YA, and we all know I have a hard time totally loving YA, and so yeah, I just didn't want to keep it on my shelves, and so I just passed it on. But yes, it was Being Mary Bennett. That was another one. So yeah, I really wish that I would have all of the other books that I collected. I was so excited when I went back to work on Tuesday because I was going to buy the basket of books and have this massive haul full of gorgeous fun books that I found, and I don't have some of them now, but maybe I'll find them again. Maybe they will come through the thrift store again and I can bring them home. I don't know. But anyway, those are the books that I have recently acquired, and I'm so glad to have them on my shelves now. If you've read any of these, let me know down in the comments if you really enjoyed them, or if there were others that you have not heard before and caught your interest. I would like to hear that as well. But yes, that is the book haul. I will see you guys next time.